Hello, Rob from Fountain Pen Journey with a Ranga pen review for you today. I bought this pen some months ago now from Ranga Pens, Ranga Handmade Pens, via one of their Instagram group buy Instagram posts. Now, I absolutely love the other Ranga pen that I've bought, which I have had inked up since I bought it, which is in a lovely acrylic material, and it's been one of my favourite pens to write with over this last summer of 2019 into the winter. And I've always wanted the bamboo shaped fountain pen. Now, I've not been too keen on the price on their website, but when there was a group buy, I thought, well, you know, let's go for it, because I've really wanted a bamboo shaped fountain pen. I don't know why, it just appeals to me. I like this sort of Japanese, Oriental, Far Eastern type of design and art, and it really appealed to me. So when I saw the group buy for this pen, I thought, yep, definitely pull the trigger, and got this in the green acrylic. This is the Ranga Regular Bamboo. So this isn't the giant bamboo, which I also have, and I will be doing a review of in due course. And this is a really nice pen. It's very tactile. It's bamboo shaped, obviously, and I like the green acrylic colour. It's coming out of as a bit of a bright green, but in reality it's a little bit darker than that, just out, away from these camera lights. So I mean, what is the pen? Well, it's bamboo shaped. There's no clip. It's a clipless pen, so it will roll. And it's bamboo shaped. It ticks all the boxes, and it fulfills the need for a bamboo shaped pen, which I so desired for such a long time. So let's have a look. Unscrew the cap. Now, I'll just do the cap turns because there are quite a number of them. And it's not always easy to figure out where the cap is on this pen. Down here. It's about 3 turns. So if you have an issue with that, then yeah, watch out. The cap itself is actually quite large. There's nothing in there, no cap liner or anything like that, but I never have an issue with these nibs drying out. Use this pen on use for any length of time and no problem whatsoever. Cap doesn't really have anything. It's got this sort of I don't know whether you could call it a domed conical finial up here, and what looks like a sort of step for some reason with exactly the same at the other end. So it kind of matches either end, which can lead to confusion about which end of the pen you're actually uncapping, especially as the cap is so long and it's kind of in the middle of the pen, as you can see here. So yeah, not always easy to understand which end of the pen is which when it's capped. And it's bamboo shaped, and it's really good quality acrylic material. So let's uncap it and have a look at the business end. So I ordered a Bock steel nib in gold. It's got a plastic feed. This is the broad nib. I really do like these broad nibs. They write really well. And unscrew the barrel, and it comes with a converter. You can fit standard international cartridges into this pen, or indeed eyedropper it, because you can grease these threads with silicone, perhaps put an O-ring there, and this will hold an awful lot of ink. So there is the pen. Now let's look at some size comparisons. I'm going to use my TWSBI Eco T in coral for one of these comparisons. So regular bamboo is capped about just over a centimetre longer. It's not a heavy pen. This acrylic isn't stupidly dense. Uncapped, let's just compare it to this. I'm trying to do this over the camera isn't easy, but bear with me. So yeah, it's a good 12 millimeters thereabouts, longer than the Eco. Now posting, just cap that. This does sort of push onto the end there, and it's ridiculously long. Huge, ridiculous long pen. It's a bit back heavy, obviously, because this is quite a long cap. But I would not write with this posted. You can do, but it's not great. It's unwieldy, and it doesn't post very well. In fact, I'd go as far to say that if you really tried to post this on this sort of this bit here, you stand a risk of cracking the cap because it doesn't really want to go on. So definitely not a pen that I would post. But unposted, it's a really good length and it's very comfortable. This section is really long, it does flare out, and it's really comfortable. It's a comfortable diameter, and it's a very, very comfortable section to hold. Much like one of the, I think it's the Pen BBS 408, name escapes me. But this bit sort of fits onto your hand really nicely, and it's a very comfortable pen to write with. So really, really nice. I was a little bit concerned that it might be a bit big and clunky to hold, because it is sizable, but it's actually really, really, really nice, comfortable. So let's do the writing sample. Now this will be an interesting little test, because I do sometimes, oh no, it's going to write first off. I'll just write the name and explain what I'm talking about. Okay, so we've got a broad steel Bock nib. Now, I said about whether this pen's going to write at the start. I have never had any issues with Ranga pens drying out when capped. They just, you pick them up and they write, they're great. But sometimes, if I've been, for example, talking, doing something else, reading something, and left the pen uncapped for any length of time, I find that these broad nibs, probably because there is so much ink flowing between the tines, they do seem to not hard start, but they dry out. And yeah, it's not going to do it now, but sometimes that first stroke takes no effort. You just go, oh, it's skipped, try again, and it writes perfectly. So let's do the writing sample. Oops, that was me not being on the paper. Very juicy, very wet, smooth nib. I don't push my nibs to see if there's any line variation. And yeah, I am so impressed with this pen and this nib. Really, really good quality. What can I say about the actual writing experience? Well, this is obviously a broad, wet nib. It's very, very smooth. it lays down a lot of ink. Now this ink, I really couldn't decide which ink to use, so I went for one of my mainstays. So this is Waterman Harmonious Green. Now, this ink in some pens I find to be, especially fine nibbed pens, I find it to be a little bit blue, a little bit washed out sometimes. But in this pen, it's really good. It's a nice dark green, verging on teal. I mean, you can see there's quite a bit of sort of blue in this smear here. And I really love this ink in this pen. It's great. So really happy with that. Is there anything else that I can say? Reverse writing. Ooh, let's just slide this up here. It's, I'd say, a fine, and there is a lot of feedback. I wouldn't say it's terribly scratchy, but there is a lot of feedback. It's not something that I'd want to do with this, but I mean, you can see that you go from a really good broad down to a fine, possibly even an extra fine with reverse writing. So you've got that versatility there in this one nib. And is it a pen that I would recommend? Yes, absolutely. If you want a bamboo shaped pen, the regular bamboo is a very nice size. It's actually comfortable, but it's still quite a big pen. So you're looking at borderline oversized pen with this particular model. What I don't like, perhaps I could say, well, you know, 3 turns to uncap is a little bit over the top, but you know, maybe those 3 turns actually help to seal the nib to stop it drying out, so I'm not going to argue that much about it. It's not a pocket pen at all. I really like the size of this this pen. It's good, it's chunky without being huge, and it's not heavy. So it definitely gets a thumbs up from that point of view. It can be eyedroppered as well, which is always a bonus, and when you've got a nice broad nib that's using a lot of ink, being able to eyedropper a pen easily is always a good thing. The nibs are very good quality. I know the standard Bock nibs, but at the end of the day, it works well with the pen. No hard starts, no skipping, none of that. It writes really well, and it lays down a lot of ink. Let's just show you. So there we go. I mean, it just writes and writes and writes, lots and lots of ink. So really happy with that. I would say that if I really wanted to, it would have been nice to be able to post this to make it a true oversized pen. And you can post it, but it's a bit too long. I think the cap is, in my mind, longer than it needs to be. Obviously not from a design perspective. I mean, it has to be this length, but I think the capping experience, posting experience would be could be improved, because I think that the tolerance on this inner diameter of the cap and the finial up here is no. I'm not going to risk it, because it does feel like it might split the cap. So it's not something that I'd do. Your pen may be different, because these are handmade pens and hand-turned acrylics, so maybe if you have one of these pens, yours might post perfectly well if you want to post it. So there is my review of the Ranga Regular Bamboo with a broad steel Bock nib. Do I recommend it? Absolutely. It is likely to be one of my favourite pens. Now, the unfortunate thing is, for me, I feel that because of this, it's a summer pen. I don't know why, I just feel, you know, this brings up it sparks my imagination. I can imagine myself being in a tropical jungle or on a beach somewhere, and there's, it's not winter in the UK where it's grey and wet and rainy. I want to use this pen more in the summer, so I don't think it's going to be a pen which I'm going to use all year round. Certainly have so many pens at the moment, that's not really practical either. But it is a lovely pen, and I'm very pleased with my purchase. So head on over to Instagram and look for Ranga Pens if you want to participate in the next group buy that they have, because they do promote them really quite well on Instagram. You'll be given a link in the description or on the website to a Google Docs page where you place your order and you select your acrylic, the colour, because other colours are available. I just happen to really want the green one. So you can select your colour, the nib size, nib colour, Schmidt or Bock nib, or no nib in fact if you want to put your own nib in there. So there's a lot of options with this pen, and I'm really happy with it. So I'm very happy with my purchase. It's a great pen and I certainly do recommend it. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.